We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. Because that challenge is one that we're willing to accept, one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too.
I believe that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal, before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the earth.
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. All three engines up and burning. 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. The final liftoff of Atlantis on the shoulders of the space shuttle. America will continue the dream.
I'm going to step off the limb now. That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind.
Space Shuttle Discovery still on its way to orbit after a successful ascent up through main engine cutoff.
Mission complete, Houston. After serving the world for over 30 years, the Space Shuttle's earned its place in history and it's come to a final stop.
We copy your will stop, and we'll take this opportunity to congratulate you, Atlantis, as well as the thousands of passionate individuals across this great spacefaring nation.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff. We have a liftoff. 32 minutes past the hour. Liftoff on Apollo 11. Tower cleared.
Here we got a roll program.
I think we need to do a little more all-weather testing.
Amen.
Okay, Houston, we've had a problem here.
This is Houston. Say again, please.
Houston, we've had a problem. We've had a main beam bus on a volt.
Roger, main B undervolt. Okay, stand by, 13. We're looking at it.
All right, liftoff and the clock has started. Yes, sir, reading you loud and clear.
Roger, 0G, and I feel fine. Capsule is turning around.
Hola, amigos. Felicitaciones a México y especialmente a mi amigos de Guaymas.
This is a new and strange environment at first, this suddenly finding yourself in orbit.
Discovery Houston, press to ATO.
Well, you ever been to Disneyland?
Affirmative.
That was definitely an E-ticket.
Roger that, Sally.
Can you read me better now, Colonel?
Yes, hear you loud and clear now.
Fine, same here.
I understand we're on rather a long distance hookup.
Yes, sir, I think so. By the way, I'm sorry to have missed your visit here in November, but...
we had a real fine time out there. Dr. Pickering showed us around the laboratory, and we were interested in particular, of course, in those projects that had some bearing on our manned space flights from now on.
Yes, by the way, I understand that you've been assigned to the Project Apollo recently. Could you tell me a little bit about what the nature of this assignment is?
Well, these are just more or less liaison assignments within our own group here for to keep us informed. We're not really managing any of the effort or anything like that. It's just that within our group there's so much going on that we have trouble keeping up with all the different areas of interest. So each of us try and cover a particular area, and I'm going to try and cover the general run of things in Apollo for a while here and keep everyone informed of what's going on that, see what problem areas we have that we need to make inputs on from our group.
In other words, you would be responsible for factoring into the Apollo project the manned requirements.
Yes, that's correct. That will be, there are a number of different places where, crew layouts and different phases of the mission where we think certain provisions should be made for man's capability input at different places, and we can make inputs on all different parts of the project at that level, at our experience level, I guess we'd call it. So that's what we're sort of after on these different specialty assignments.
Well, fine. I hope that in some of our project efforts we can help you in this new venture.
Well, we were interested in your high altitude facility out there that's just now being finished, the big pressure chamber where you'll have heat and light capability in it at space conditions. That'll make an excellent tool for checking out some of our vehicles for the future, I think.
Yes, it will. Incidentally, that's coming along pretty well now. As you know, in our Mariner project, we actually built 3 spacecraft, and we've had our spacecraft up there, the spare spacecraft in the space simulator, verifying the flight conditions that we experienced on the Mariner 2 flight, and we've been able to get pretty good simulation for solar radiation and that sort of thing.
Well, very good. We were up in the control room while the Mariner flight was still being monitored out there. This was very interesting, hearing the raw data coming back in, hearing it on a direct basis rather than just reading a report off a paper someplace. I don't know whether those broadcasts were ever actually put out to the public in general or not.
Yes, they were. At the time of encounter on the 14th of December, there was a broadcast of the tone. By the way, we did make, as you know, on the Mariner 2, some measurements that, at least at this, over this flight and during this year, indicated that some of the hazards to manned flight were encouragingly small, particularly the radiation hazard and the cosmic dust hazards. Over our 225 million mile flight, why we found that these were quite small during at least this year.
Well, that's good. That's the kind of information we like to have.
Well, I hope we can get some more of it for you in the future.
Well, I hope so too. I think everyone's aware we're all sort of working together on this. I know there are people who have tried to pit the manned versus the unmanned program and so on, but we're all just trying to get all the information about space back that we possibly can, and all working closely together on it.
Well, that's definitely the ultimate purpose of our unmanned flights. One of the key purposes, and we'll try to continue to do that. By the way, when is the next manned flight scheduled now? It's in a few months, is it not?
It'll be in probably sometime in April, the way it looks now, scheduled for early April. That may skid a little bit one of these days, I don't know, but right now it's scheduled for April anyway. We have various problems, of course, come up as time goes on that sometimes skid these schedules a little bit. I think everyone's aware of that. But right now it looks like it'll be probably sometime in April.
Fine.
Gordo Cooper is the next one up on that. We spent a little time with him at the Cape about a week ago and going through some of the systems briefings, and there's still a lot of work yet to be done getting ready for the next flight, but Gordo's in good shape and looking forward to it.
Well, our best wishes will be with him, of course, as they were with you, Colonel Glenn.
Right, this one will be a little bit longer, of course, than our earlier ones. He's hoping to get off about 18 or 22 orbits on this, get up around well over a day in orbit, so he'll be able to sleep and more or less set up a regular routine in orbit with this increased length of time, and we're looking forward to these longer flights.
Right, well, I'm sure it'll be a success. Incidentally, I've noticed the high quality of our conversation, voice conversation here. This relay satellite is doing a very good job, is it not?
Well, I was thinking the same thing here. This just sounds like normal telephone conversation. I think this demonstrates another point, really, and that is that some of the benefits that are accruing from some of this space work are just now beginning to become apparent, and some of these first communications attempts like this are sort of laying the ground floor for some of the later efforts or some of the benefits that we'll get from this. We look forward to the time when we'll have satellites, of course, that will make instant communication and television possible all over the whole world. This should bring a greater understanding among all people when we reach that point.
I think it's interesting that one of our application projects, the relay, has at least given me an opportunity, representing the unmanned exploration, to talk to you of the manned exploration, Colonel.
Well, we're all working together, as I mentioned before, on this. Our goal, of course, is space exploration, to find out what is in space. And we know from the past that while we can't pinpoint every benefit to be gained, we know that exploration and research always have a way of paying off far more in the future than anything we foresee at the outset. And I think this morning this is one demonstration of it. At the time we had our first satellites, I don't think any of us ever thought that we'd be talking to each other via satellite just in this short time later. But there are tremendous strides being made in all these different fields.
Yes, it seems to be, like most scientific exploration, rising in an exponential fashion.
That's right. I know a lot of people question some phases of various parts of the program, but they're pretty closely monitored. Most of them are fitting in pretty well together.
Right. By the way, we're looking forward to a little bit of an anniversary here next Thursday. This coming Thursday, as a matter of fact, it's the anniversary of our Explorer 1, which was the United States' first satellite. So,
right,
sort of a occasion for us here too. I guess that's it. Thank you very much.